Hello my friends and welcome to Flying Circus Models. Here's the final part of my current project, Sopwith 1.5 Strutter from Roden, the final assembly. When feature dried, I used that sharp dentist tool to mark places for rigging anchor points and drilled small holes with 0.4 mm drill bit. Because I will use easy line rigging for this model, I decided not to make my own anchor points from copper wire and used resin anchor points from gas patch models. For the central rigging I used one end resin turnbuckles, also from gas patch models. The process was pretty straightforward. Just add a small drop of super glue into the hole and put the anchor point into it. Quick tip, you will need to try to drill the hole with the specific angle that will be required for that specific rigging line. Otherwise, your resin anchor point or turnbuckle may break later. Finally, I received my order with a lot of different brass tubes, and I ordered different sizes: 0.4, 0.6 and 0.8 millimeters in diameter. Using a regular coffee stick, I made a cutting stop with the size line. Surprisingly, it was very easy to cut that brass tube. Just roll it with a sharp scalpel blade and add a little pressure. I recommend you to break it with tweezers for the first couple of times, just to understand how much pressure you need to use. Otherwise, all those small pieces will fly away and you will spend more time searching them rather than cutting. And you will need a lot of them. However, I spent much less time cutting in comparison with medical needles. I used approximately 2/3 of the tube length for this model. A very interesting detail I had to add to the build, the internal wing rigging. Strutter pilots complained a lot for the poor visibility because of the top wing, so it was decided to cut a wing fabric and make 2 windows. But internal rigging had to stay, of course. I used my regular rigging technique that you can find in the video of how-to series. And once the rigging was done, I had to glue a transparent film. So I just placed it and fixed with the super glue on each corner. Just be careful and not to put too much of it. Same idea with inspection windows on each wing. Also, I added an imitation of the control wires. I really like the results, even though it's not very accurate in comparison with the real plane, because the rigging had to go through the ribs and not below, but it would be very hard to drill plastic in that place. By the way, if you haven't done this yet, please subscribe to my channel to see more of my builds. And while you take a moment to do it, I glued a cowl on its place. The video of how to make a rotary engine you also can find in the description. There is a small error in Roden's instruction. The elevator control cable points are number 29 on the sprue, but they are number 5 in the instruction, so just be careful with it. And I used a 0.2 millimeter drill bit to drill small holes for the rigging. And here is the actual rigging process. As you can see, it's the usual process with the new materials. Brass tubes instead of medical needles and easy line elastic thread instead of nylon one. We need to put the thread through the piece of tube, then through the anchor point, make a loop and put it back through the tube and fix with the super glue. The rigging is almost completed. Roden offers to use this plastic imitation of the aileron control cables, but they're supposed to look like that. So I removed the extra plastic, drilled small holes and glued the resin anchor points to all 4 of them. And again, the simple rigging process. To imitate spoke wheels, I simply glued 2 nickel wires pieces to each wheel cover and then glued them to each wheel and attached them to the model. Because this plane had a rotary engine and they are well known for oil leaks and spills, I used a brown water-based wash and the air from my airbrush to show all those oil leaks. To show some dust, I used dry pigments and a very soft brush. I put them on a landing gear, wheels and bottom sides of the wings.